everybody, Crazy Cordy here, and welcome back to another speed build. And today we are doing a church build, which I've never tried to do in The Sims before today, so I hope you guys enjoy it. I did do this on stream, and I had a little bit of an oops where a few of my stream overlays were visible on the recording, so I'm going to have the picture of the church that I was using for inspiration for this on the build the whole time, just so you guys won't have to be distracted by my little like video outline and Fox thing. There's still one up in the top corner, but I can't get it off the recording because I accidentally recorded it. But anyway, this build was actually really interesting to do. Doing the outside, was pretty simple. I, didn't get the look exactly because we don't have, tons of options for like paint and like old looking stone, like it shows in the picture. But I think I did a pretty good job of getting it how it looks in the picture, I guess. I don't really know. But I did use some platforms here for the flat roof just because I wanted it to be a little more interesting than just not putting a roof piece up there. And of course I couldn't get the stone to match exactly because we don't have enough swatches for the platform, like sides or whatever you want to call them. But anyway, it was a lot of fun to do. I actually had some fun using different objects to create new objects. I used the platform, or no, what is it called? The pedestal from Get Famous, I believe. It's just the plain white pedestal. A lot of people use those for flat roofs before we had platforms, and I used that to make like a cross on the very top of the build. Sadly, I didn't record that for some reason, so it kind of cuts, like you see me start it, but then I had to leave the game because I needed to download the tool mod to use the tool mod, and I forgot to start recording when I first started, so it'll jump from like being halfway done to being completely done. So sorry about that, you guys don't get to see the full process, but it was quite a process. But yeah, so this top area I was trying to add some decorative things that kind of matched what was in the picture. They do have some flags up there, so I made sure to have a flag. There is no cross in the picture, but I wanted to add that just to, more solidify the fact that this is a church, and, it's not gonna function as a church, obviously, because we don't have religion in The Sims, but it is, I don't know, it's just a generic lot, and as far as The Sims knows. Here's where I started working on the cross, and then I came back and it was already done, so the next time we go outside you'll see it finished. But anyway, we do have this stairway here. I wanted to have it blocked off so that, not everybody is allowed to go up there because it's where the bell tower is. And I also used that as kind of a little separator to place some bathrooms down. The only thing I wish I could have added, or I should have added, was like a separate room, like a couple of other rooms or something for like weddings, because when people get married in weddings, when people get married at a church, you usually have like a bride's room and a groom's room, or some separate rooms where people are getting ready and hanging out and stuff before the ceremony. And so that's kind of the only thing that this place is really missing. And I probably could have added something in there because behind like the sanctuary area where everybody would sit for like a service, there's like empty space, and I just made it kind of like a lounging area where people could sit. There's just some couches and some chairs and like coffee table and stuff. But fitting with, or keeping with, the overall like style of the build, I tried to do the inside and make it look very old. There's no electricity except for in the bathrooms. They have newer lights there, but everywhere else it's like candles, and I thought that was really interesting to keep. The church is kind of updated in some areas but not really updated everywhere, and I thought that was kind of interesting to have. But here I think we're working on the bell tower, yes. So we don't have bells like I would want, but I did find this debug bell that was in the gallery. I can't remember the username, but it is a hashtag on the gallery. If you go to download this on the gallery, you can see who had found that debug item. I will also link it down in the description. I just can't think of who it was, but whoever you are, thank you so much. It was very helpful. So we have just like a handbell that I sized up ridiculously, and it looks ridiculous, but you know, this build isn't really a functional build anyway, so it's just there for looks, and it was fun. But anyway, here we are working on one of the rooms I did make sure to include, which is like the pastor's room, or his office where he does his work, where he writes sermons and that kind of thing. And it's just very simple with the desk, and we've got some bookcases, and you'll see me flip the desk around because I also after I did all the clutter, I realized, you know, the desk probably shouldn't be facing the wall, like it should be facing the rest of the room, because he needs to be able to meet with people and things like that. Like there's usually, you know, chairs in front of the desk so that you can have conversations with a pastor or a priest or whoever, you know. So I did flip it around and I cut all that out because I had to move all the clutter again, but we did figure it out in the end. We have some chairs there so that you can sit and talk with your pastor. We put the bookcases behind the desk, and I thought it was really interesting when I was looking at the different types of bookshelves to use, and I think the one I ended up using is from Strangerville. It's very tall. It goes from the floor all the way up to the ceiling, and I thought that was really cool. It just made it look kind of fit more with the theme, like of it being old timey and stuff. I don't really know. But that's pretty much done. This red shelf you see, I use that to place clutter. It just helps you place items more precisely in your builds. Like if you're trying to place something on, like I was using it to place it on the desk, and you know, things will snap to certain places, and if you don't want that to happen, if you want to put stuff, you know, not in the snapping locations, you can use the shelf to just kind of, you know, place it where you want it, and then you just have to alt place it. I said the word place so many times there. But anyway, so now we're working on this front area of the sanctuary. Off camera, I actually added in an organ because I realized when I was done and I was like taking pictures and stuff, I was like, this doesn't look right. Like, where can I put an organ? So I do add an organ off the recording, so you'll see that in the pictures, and it's also in the build on the gallery. If you search for it there, you can find it under my username crazycordy or the hashtag crazycordy, whichever way is easier for you. It's also linked in the description below, so you can find it either place. This was another thing I added at the end, you know, kind of just to give it more personality. I used the tool mod again. I didn't move it right away because you have to go into live mode to use the tool mod, so it's just on the side there, but I do move it to make a cross behind the kind of altar area, and it was kind of hard to figure out what I wanted to use for this area, just because, you know, we don't have what you actually would want to use, I guess. So you're just kind of making it up as you go, but I did get the suggestion for that vampires, I don't even know what you call it, the old book thing that's standing on a stand. I got that suggestion from somebody in my chat, and I thought it was a good idea, so that's why I ended up moving the altar to the back. Even though, like, normally in my church and stuff, you know, the pastor would normally stand maybe behind the altar. I don't know. I haven't been to my church in so long, but anyway, so now we're done with that area. Now we're working on the kind of entrance area. This was also another suggestion for this entrance, to put like a fountain in there. I don't really know if that really makes much sense, but I didn't know what else to put in there besides, you know, little coat racks and stuff. So it's kind of empty, but like I said, I really didn't know what to put there. I think it looks okay though. It might be kind of realistic for the time period that this was supposed to be built, which I really don't know what that time period is, but we can pretend. But here's the little lounge area I was talking about, just with some chairs and coffee table and end tables and stuff. You know, people can I mean, if, you know, the church is so full that you can't sit in the pews, you know, you can sit back here, I guess, and watch the sermon and everything. But also adding some plants, because builds are never complete without plants. And I didn't add too many curtains around. I thought, I really actually wish I could have used more like stained glass windows. I know we have some that came with Realm of Magic, I think, but the style wasn't what I was going for, and so that's why I didn't end up using those. But we are coming up to the end of this build. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please remember to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, everybody!